Hi and welcome to the Social Commuter Podcast, the marketing podcast keeping you up to date on the go.
With your host, Georgia Smith
and Eloise Fenwick.
It is a very special episode today.
It's our birthday!
It is our first ever episode and I'm very excited. We've been doing this for almost a year now. The weirdest feeling in the world.
I'm
excited.
We're going to speak to the Fatima Card.
Nia Patel.
S-Class Smith.
Abs on. The incredible Silky Baldwin.
Carolina.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
Hello, everyone.
There we go. Overfixating.
Moving on.
This is the type of things we want to be hearing on this podcast.
My goodness. Headline for the week.
Headline. Go. TikTok this week. There's just
Instagram and then
We said this a bit,
2025
yeah.
TikTok 3 year.
Wow, you've heard it here.
Heard it here first, everyone.
Can you believe it's been a whole year of the Social Commuter podcast?
I know, isn't it crazy?
It's emotional.
We've
it's
actually
like a baby's grown up.
Yeah.
It actually is.
It is. We've achieved so much this year.
We have. We've had the best guests on the podcast. I mean, our first guest, Nia, really shaped the podcast for me.
She was incredible.
Yeah.
She's such a LinkedIn expert. If you haven't watched Nia's episode, definitely go and watch it.
Might be an old one, but it's a very good one. I still talk about it all the time. Whenever I have a masterclass and I talk about LinkedIn, she is the person I talk about.
Fatima's
Fatima's
incredible.
amazing.
Everyone, to be honest.
In
Everyone who featured in
person.
the
Claire
montage
was
as
in
well.
person.
Claire was in person.
Sophie was our last guest. First of the new year as well, which
I
is
know,
quite
we
emotional.
actually have so many guests coming up this year who are so exciting.
Yeah.
We're almost booked up for the entire year.
It's a good lineup.
It is exceptional.
It is. Exciting new year.
I just want to talk about some of the things we have actually achieved.
Go on.
We were in the top 25% of podcasts on Spotify this year.
That was a big one. Our
That was
Spotify Wrapped was
incredible.
very exciting this year.
I think I screamed when I read
I'm
that.
pretty sure she did literally jump up and squeal on the spot, which is quite emotional.
Yes. We got to work with the incredible Stavros from Opus Media Productions.
That was a great episode.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what 2025
Big
brings
things.
us.
It's 2025 and our second year of a podcast,
Yeah.
which is, saying it that way makes me feel really old. Second year.
Oh, so emotional.
It is. We're going to start crying again. We cried when we saw the montage for the first time, and
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we'll cry again this time.
It's an emotional episode. Should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Okay, so my first update is YouTube has partnered with repurpose.io for easy reposting on TikTok.
Okay.
So this was a really interesting way of YouTube to push their shorts.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
obviously we saw TikTok being banned, which we do need to speak about on this podcast.
We'll get into it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
because due to different circumstances, we haven't actually spoken about this yet.
We just missed the biggest
We
social
did, the
media
biggest social
update
media
of the
of the
entire
year.
year. It's okay, we'll get into it.
But basically, YouTube are partnering with this platform to be able to literally take your TikToks and your videos from that platform and put them straight into YouTube
I
Shorts.
feel like it's YouTube's way of surrendering, to be honest. It's like they've taken it, they've just accepted that TikTok is an important thing and they're not as big as TikTok.
That's true.
And they've been hands up,
Yeah.
let's bring the TikTok into us. Let's work together instead of apart.
100%. I also think they're future-proofing in case TikTok gets taken away again to try and boost their platform. They are a bit late to the party. If they'd done this 2 weeks ago, they would be thriving right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, even the whole TikTok thing's insane. We will get into that last. Keep it to the juicy bits.
Yeah.
But talking about YouTube, they have just launched new Discord-style communities, which are rolling out to more creators. So we've talked about community marketing I think we've realised it since July, and how
Yes.
huge it's been since July now, which is crazy. And seeing that YouTube itself, which is a platform that's not really community-based, I would say, it's more like YouTuber, and then they have the little team
Absolutely,
below
yeah.
them. Now they're trying to mix them all together. We talked about replying to comments with voice memos and stuff like that in the past. So
I love that feature.
I actually am
That was one of
excited
my
to see
favourite
that one
updates of
roll
the year.
out.
Yeah.
And I think YouTube focusing on this sort of community style is huge for the platform.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it is lovely how community marketing has grown so much in the past year.
We were watching old episodes this
we
morning.
were having such a nostalgic day today.
Watching about our first episode and TikTok Shop coming out, and the fact that we were it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we
it's a
absolutely
scam.
hated TikTok Shop. And
Yeah.
then over the year...
You hated it more than
we
anyone.
had a few different purchases that we've shown on this podcast
quite
of
funny.
TikTok Shop.
It's emotional.
I actually have a few different reports.
Okay.
Coming up now. So my first report is Pinterest has reported record usage in Q4 of last year.
Exciting.
Wild.
I love Pinterest. At the minute, more than ever, I've been enjoying Pinterest.
Yeah.
When I've got new clients coming on board that are a little bit different to things I've done before, I always Pinterest and see the vibe that other businesses have done. We used it for the apartment.
Yeah, we did, of
We
course.
sat for ages looking at Pinterest, and now we have all the boards. They're all nice and organised. So
I agree. I absolutely love Pinterest as well. I think it's a fantastic platform. It's incredibly hard to grow on as a creator.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think you can do it. I think the only creator I've known who's maybe two who've come out of Pinterest are Matilda Jeff.
Yeah.
And that girl who was actually my creator of the week, whose name's just completely gone out of my head. Do you know who I mean? Milan.
Yeah.
From TikTok. They both completely came out of Pinterest, but they're the only platform I think that's ever grown on.
It's hard to grow as a creator from that and move into a different thing because it's not community based at all, really.
Exactly.
You can't have those conversations, and it's harder to grow. Even as a business, it's harder to grow on there. But I think because it was so millennial focused, and now Gen Zs are growing up, they're using it more as a main platform. So
Definitely.
I can continue to see this grow. I feel like in a year's time we'll be having the same conversation.
I agree. I like Pinterest because of how much they do try and support creators.
Yeah.
Like with the whole strategies, I always use it for my post
love
planning. I
reading the
love a Pinterest
strategies.
strategy.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I haven't seen them marketing themselves or really pushing much. So I'm kind of surprised by that. But again, Christmas, decorating.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of blends itself in.
I like a Pinterest one.
Just wondering if I throw in all my reports
Go
at the
on,
same time.
sit back and listen to the reports.
So there's been an engagement rate report released, which, again, all of us social media managers, engagement is key to a successful strategy, always. So, by platform, TikTok is by far the highest in engagement rates.
Not a shock.
That's not a shock to anyone.
No.
Instagram is next, and then very, 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 very low engagement rates are Facebook and X, which again,
none of it's really a shock. I mean,
I don't think I maybe see memes getting good
on
things
X,
on Facebook, and maybe X, but again, X is incredibly hard to grow on. I think
Facebook and X are two of the harder platforms to grow on.
Yeah.
It's basically the engagement rate matches with how easy the platform is to grow.
Yeah.
Facebook is the worst to grow on, and the engagement rate is low. And then you've got TikTok, which you can post a video of me drinking wine on a Friday night and get a couple thousand views, and that's just the way it goes. So it's quite nice that they match up.
Definitely, it is what we would have thought, which is always reassuring.
Yeah.
But then this other research has come out comparing Threads and X. This actually is quite surprising.
Okay.
Threads is getting much higher engagement rates than X.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Meta has pushed Threads so much that it's also not that crazy surprising.
Yeah, and then you've got the whole boycotting X as well.
People are disliking Elon, so they're disliking X, and that's sort of the way it's worked.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just going to continue to just totally swap over.
Absolutely. But considering X, obviously it's got all its roots in Twitter, and that's been such a big platform for so many years, and now all of a sudden Threads has come in.
It's insane.
It's interesting for social media managers to know that.
It shows that a new platform, obviously they had a total support. They're like a Nepo baby of
100%.
platforms, but they did come over and they did, at the end of the day, take over X/Twitter, which is sad. I really like Twitter. It was one of my favourites, and then X became a thing. My dislike for Elon became a thing, and then you sort of move over to Threads. So, you know what, linking in with Threads actually. I'll totally interrupt. So, Threads is now letting you tag people in photos, and Meta is really pushing Threads at the minute. So they've just released a guide filled with tips to help users get the most out of Threads. So they're pushing new updates, and they're pushing helping users really understand. So I think we're going to see Threads creators soon, which is exciting.
Yes.
To see people that got on Threads early and they built up their following. We have followers on Threads and we don't really post on it.
No, I think because a lot of them do literally come from Instagram automatically.
So literally Nepo baby of Instagram, and it's building up, and they really are giving the guidelines now for creators and for businesses to succeed on Threads, which is nice.
Yeah. Can I say something kind of controversial?
Okay.
Do you think Threads is turning into Instagram?
So, yes, to an extent. We've talked about it before. So when they started doing photos and videos on it, that was a bit like,
is it not?
Okay. And then they started tagging people and the hashtags as well. So it's seeming really similar.
In my opinion, I'm like, what's the difference?
Well, Instagram's going more video. So I think Instagram's seeing TikTok. They're going strategy. Yeah.
Oh,
it's the only way that it makes sense. Is that they've sat back and they've said TikTok could get banned. And obviously now you've got Meta and you've got all the up there's buddies with Trump.
Yeah.
and they're going to go in and they're going to say, let's ban it, you know, obviously in theory, and then Instagram's going to do really well, TikTok's out, and then it goes that way. Threads becomes the new Instagram. So instead of transforming,
this is crazy. We just like predicted the entire next
in a year, like we're sat down, like we were correct. Yeah. But it makes sense to do it that way, and it's not completely irrational to believe that. And I think Instagram already has all the users, and they're just pushing Reels so much. So businesses are doing more of them, creators are doing more of them, and Threads is becoming slowly, it's taken like a year now, a duplication of Instagram.
Yeah.
So could be just a theory,
yeah,
but it could be a theory that's a bit realistic as well. It's a bit creepy, but I will do another one
while I'm here. I did 3 at the same time.
So it's all right. Instagram is developing a new video editing app that includes AI-powered animation features. So it's meant to be released in some regions in the upcoming months. So Instagram and editing apps, they've sort of worked in the past hand in hand, but this is a fully app developed by Instagram itself. Excited to see it. Sick of AI being involved in everything, to be completely honest, but they're meant to have some cool animations that are all done by AI, and it could be fun, and I'm assuming it'll be free, as most of their apps are. Just lots of ads, and it could be something to keep an eye out for.
I know. I think this is quite similar to CapCut and TikTok, like a partnership.
The buddies. And Instagram's got their buddy now, so
absolutely.
I'm excited to try it when it comes out. I'll definitely keep it a nose, especially if it's got grid previews, which we've been talking a lot about recently.
Yeah.
Because I'm my personal Instagram, I preview everything in my grid. You've never done that before. You just post, delete.
I did it on my
yeah. You do.
Just for context to everyone, if you don't follow my personal Instagram, I only realised that a grid like previewer was a thing.
Yeah.
Without having to put all of your photos individually in Canva. So I would just like post a post and then delete it after like a second if I didn't like it in my grid.
Crazy for that.
And then I ended up downloading one of these apps and like doing a free trial just to post a post. Again, this is such a social media manager thing to do.
It's an insane social media manager thing to do.
But that was a bit of a faff. So hopefully Instagram can do their own.
I hope they add that in. If they add it in, I'll definitely download it and use it.
I don't know why they don't do it. You know what I mean?
Should we write them in? Send them an email?
Yeah,
complain to them. There you go. Well, Later does it, so if you use a scheduling system, sometimes you can preview it on that. But we can have a go at Instagram that way anyway.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, I've got my last one.
Okay, you do your last one then.
Okay. Again, this is interesting. This kind of links in with all the platforms moving to video content.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is rolling out updates to video presentation and discovery.
Okay.
So essentially, to my understanding, again, it's all linked below, they are going to be quite like Instagram in their video feed now.
Yeah.
So they're going to have one of them on LinkedIn, which we did kind of hear some rumours about a few weeks ago.
We've seen it, we've heard some rumours, and it's doing well.
Yes, and these are going to, I again, in the screenshots I've seen of this like pre-release, some of it's a bit like YouTube videos, some of it's a bit like TikTok. But it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
We found videos on LinkedIn work really, really well. Yeah. LinkedIn absolutely loves them.
Yeah.
So the fact they're rolling out some more updates are really going to push this. They've got a new discovery feature for videos.
It's exciting.
It's definitely the way to go on LinkedIn.
Try some videos out on LinkedIn. And now we're going to end with the most exciting thing that we haven't talked about yet. The whole TikTok drama. So we've just completely missed like the biggest update because I think it's been talked about by everyone and every news channel for the past couple months. So it's a big one that we need to discuss. So if you don't know, TikTok was banned, then unbanned, then planning to get banned again due to security issues in the US. So this set, shockwaves for everyone. No one actually thought it was going to get banned, and it got taken down for like 4 hours, if that. So you couldn't download it on the App Store, and if you open the app, it would just say like you can't scroll and it's been banned. So it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't days that people went without, but during that whole time, creators went insane. They were doing their like dark truths and everything. You would have thought everyone was just like getting wiped off the earth. It was crazy. And you saw businesses talk about it, social media managers joking that, their job's gone. TikTok managers, especially in the US.
Yeah.
Must have been scary for them.
Imagine TikTok agencies and stuff.
Insane. That's just your whole career gone. So now it's back in app stores, and creators are acting like nothing's happened, but the future is still very uncertain.
Yes, hence all of this Instagram
pushing
gossip we've been talking about.
It's
probably going to be very relevant. Yeah, I know. I think this whole thing was crazy. I follow a creator, in fact, you probably all know them, Brooklyn and Bailey.
Yeah.
And then Brooklyn was literally going into labour, like their biggest. They built up this entire pregnancy throughout her.
You've been on about it for months.
Yeah. And then right when she was in labour and like the big peak of
Crazy.
it all, TikTok got banned, so you couldn't document any
So
of
bad.
it, which is just crazy. So yeah, it was a very dramatic time for a lot
It
of
was.
Americans. The internet went crazy, as you said.
Everything
We've learned
blew
a
up.
lot about a lot of different creators.
You had different platforms becoming
Yeah.
huge. It affected YouTube. It affected every other platform. Totally new apps as well were blowing up everywhere. And then Trump came in and just was like, let's take
Which
it
is
back. Let's
interesting.
keep it.
I'm
But
pretty
he's
sure he
still
was the one
looking
that
at
banned
it.
in the first place, wasn't he? Anyway.
He was.
Yeah.
But we can't talk about politics again. Gonna get like literally cancelled. But it was a lot of drama related to TikTok, and of course we will keep you updated with everything that's coming out with that. There's going to be more coming out over the next couple months. I'm hoping that it stays in America. I actually really missed it, and I felt like a lot of the content was, lowering on your feed.
Yeah.
And it was sad. I felt like I was losing friends. You see them just disappear.
Actually, yeah.
It was.
'Cause
It was really
it's
emotional.
all about community, isn't it? Social media. So you are technically part of somebody's community.
Yeah, and they're just gone from the platform. So
I think that shows the power of social media.
it does. Social media is a powerful thing. It's time for our favourite bit of the episode, the trends.
The trends.
We love talking about trends. I mean, all it is an excuse to scroll on TikTok for a couple hours a week and just love life. So
I can't lie. Now I work my corporate marketing job and my business, so I just never have time to scroll on TikTok. So
this
it's
is
great
your
to
excuse.
have like an excuse.
Yeah, I think it's a nice bit. I have to set my timer on my phone now. So when you're working from home, it really is hard to stay off the TikTok world.
Yeah.
But I'll kick it off. So it's an audio that I've seen trending quite a bit at the minute that says, we'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. And it's about local businesses a lot of the time.
I love that.
Yeah, so like walking past the bakery and then it shows the bakery. You've got total things like that. You could do it for a pottery studio. You could do it for small shops, jewelers, anything like that. And I think it's really fun. It's nice. It just shows wholesomeness, support independent shops. And I quite like it.
I love that so much.
It's good.
Really useful for all the social media managers or small
It's
businesses.
easy sound to use, easy clips. You don't have to show your face, which is always a benefit for small business owners. I think there's small
So
amount that
business
like
owners
doing
don't like
it.
to show their face at
No,
all.
at all.
My first one is "Denial is a River" by Doechii.
We've talked about this for like a month straight now. I feel like it's one of the most trending audios of this year.
It is. I was okay. If you don't follow social Commuter on TikTok, definitely go check it out because we do quite a few TikToks.
It's good.
And I was looking through the sounds yesterday, scrolling the For You page, and genuinely, like it was more than every second video. It was like every video.
She's huge.
Was this song, which is again a bit crazy because it's a very out there song. You've got to be a certain type of business. However, I do think it's been surprisingly taken on by a wide range of
I think a lot of them have done it.
creators.
I think because she is so inspirational and her whole story was amazing. She worked very hard for what she's achieved, and everyone knows that. So the song's amazing. It's on my playlist. So the Grammys?
The Grammys?
Yeah, I think the Grammys were the other day, and she got, top female rap artist or top rap art album.
Which is incredible.
She was the third female to ever win that award, so I think it was top rap album of the year.
Yeah, we should be celebrating that, to be
And
fair,
honestly, but
social
her journey was incredible. So she got, she made redundant, she got sacked from a job, and the next day she went into like hundreds of record labels and tried to hand out things. So she knew she wanted to succeed, and she has, and it's just nice watching that. And her whole album's totally viral. Every song on it, someone loves and someone talks about. And it's a great album, so good on her for that. I'm getting you into it. We've had it on like 3 times this weekend.
It's a very hype up song, to be fair.
I know. I wouldn't put you to like it
no,
normally.
I know, it's not really my vibe, but
you've been singing along now, so I think you sort of made it. So this one was huge a couple weeks ago. It's dying down a bit now, but I think a lot of businesses are just about getting on it, so it might go up again. So how I look at the rubber when I say take anything and they take da-da-da. And it's like another painting trend. There's been a lot of them this year, but it's like a frog or like a blob of something. It's like a weird animal that's like painted. So there was one I sent you that was like how I look at the rubber when I say take anything and they take my roommate, and then the next time it's like no, me roomie, and it's like a baby voice sort of like painting thing. Kind of hard to explain. You have to have a look at it. There's so many funny ones. There's ones about drinks, there's some about music, there's some about anything. A lot of businesses have done it. When I look at the rubber, they say take anything and they take like my boss, and then you'd be like no, oh wait, it's okay. And little things like that. So loads of people are involved in it. It's a really good trend, and I would definitely get on it just before it dies off.
I love that one. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it.
Beautiful, as always.
I like it. Yeah, saw this yesterday. Actually, you know who did it? Who I saw?
Who?
Amy Smale.
Oh, we love
One of our
it.
favourite creators of all time, Odd
Yeah.
Muse owner. But yeah, this is a fab trend. Again, I've used this style on social Commuter, so you might as well get it from there if you want it. But
Love
basically,
that.
people are just putting like photo of them and then all the things that they love around themselves, which is
nice.
such a vibe.
It's a good one. So the final one I've had, this is probably just my messed up for you page that we've discovered over the past like 2 months I've had.
So ridiculous.
Sex and the City.
Oh, I love this.
Incredible show. And then they have like a clip they did for like an introduction for the show, and it's like more, more, more. And it went viral like 2 weeks ago. And it's still doing well. Everything girly in general is doing well at the minute. We'll talk about Galentine's in a bit. But I feel like it's just the show's doing well. That sort of girlhood vibe's doing well. And obviously the audio itself is doing great.
I adore that.
Yeah.
On to Galentine's.
We're excited for Galentine's. We're going to do some bits and remind me to talk to you about it after.
Oh.
For a couple of businesses.
Yeah.
Because Galentine's is exciting.
Galentine's. So I actually wrote an article on this the other day.
It is beautiful.
Thank you. I will probably post it on my LinkedIn directly so you guys can read it. But recently we've seen this massive shift from emphasis on love and relationships in Valentine's to completely for the girls' Galentine's campaigns, which we absolutely adore.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of anti-Valentine's campaigns going on because
True.
you either love Valentine's or you absolutely hate it.
I'm loving the anti-Valentine's Valentine's
I love
vibes
it.
this year.
Honestly, some campaigns have been so funny. Like this dentist magazine, I think, came up with the similarities of being in love and needing a root canal, and it was like burning desire and then like your cheek burning from the pain.
Crazy.
It's so funny. This company that goes to clean up like dead bodies, low-key, did this whole series around how like love stories that have ended up in death, basically, and like how it is really anti-Valentine's Day, and they did like Juliet, Romeo and Juliet, that kind of vibes.
Yeah.
So funny. So I think this is definitely, there's so much room to be showing up for our girls and our huns on Valentine's Day.
Has transformed Valentine's Day this year.
Yes, this is another example of Galentine's culture being massive, because I don't know if any of you have seen the TV trailer for Bridget Jones, but it's all completely focused on Galentine's Day.
Lovely.
It's like bring your girls. The whole movie's being released on the 13th, which is officially Galentine's Day.
We're going, don't worry.
We are going. We're actually going on Valentine's Day.
It's such a wholesome Valentine's Day we have planned, but I think it's great.
It is.
My favourite trend by a mile is the fact that Valentine's Day is dead this year, and every business is talking about the Galentine's side of things, and it's empowering.
It is so empowering, and I think it is a really important representation of single women, our single mums, our older single women as well, that are so underrepresented, and
showing them,
particularly in this month of love in February. So it's really nice to be able to show up for them in these campaigns.
Valentine's Day's dead.
Valentine's Day's
Who cares
dead
anymore? Final bit of our birthday episode, the creators. I so far have loved the updates and all the trends, so let's end with the creators. So we've had some amazing ones this year. I feel like it's been quite emotional to look back and reflect on all the ones we've had.
Yeah.
We had our first ones, my first ever creator, Honor Smith, who's been my creator at least 3 times now this year.
She is incredible.
She keeps coming back, and we've had people reshare, and we've had just such incredible memories due to the creators we've had.
Yes, shout out Louise Long, I think that's how you say her name. She was incredible, always like one of my top creators of all time again, and she reposts this on her story, which is so kind of her. We've had
It's been a lot.
Amazing time.
I mean, we've done 2 a week for a whole year now, and we've had our guests come in and they've brought creators as well. So it's been really nice to spread influencers and creators that are just doing good work.
Absolutely.
The ones that we're liking. So I'll do mine, one for the birthday episode.
Do your one of the week and one of the year.
Well, I cannot think of one of the year.
Okay.
So I'll do my one of the week. Actually, I can do. So I'll do the year. I just thought one. So my one of the week is Looks by Katie. She's fitness, running, girls support girls in Manchester. So she did this whole thing where she was on a walk by herself, and she was like, I really want some girls to come on the walk with me. Girls that, do solo hikes and stuff like that. And we can come together. We can, plan a hike somewhere, sort of around us. So we should definitely go on one. and she's still a micro influencer. She's got about 14,000 followers, and I just thought she's great.
That's so girl power of her.
It's really girl power of her. And then my one of the year has to be Charlie Malo, who blew up on TikTok, and we had her just before she blew up, and she messaged us to say thank you. She did a comment. It was really nice to see that from her. She's still one of my favorite influencers. She's just funny. She's doing really well on TV now. She's sort of gone from like TikTok to interview to TV style stuff, and she's just incredible, and she's still growing, which is really nice to see.
I love that so much.
Go on.
My creator of the week is Hope.Bailey27. You've probably seen her on your For You page. She literally will walk the streets
She's
on her way to
amazing.
work doing her makeup. Like, she'll pull off her face mask and it's incredible. I don't know how she does it. It's such a talent to hold all of your makeup in like between your fingers.
She's a talented lady.
Holding your phone,
yeah.
and I don't know how she does it. But she deserves an honourable mention because that is just talent.
Who have we seen in the year?
My favourite of the year has to be Salome Andrea. Sorry if I said your name wrong.
You love her.
I love her so much. She's the coolest mom. She has the 2 little twins and they all dress the same. It's so cool. They've actually modelled for Zara this year. They've had a big year as well.
It's exciting.
But yeah, she is definitely my creator of the year.
Oh, that's exciting to say that. Creator of the year. I feel like in the year's time we'll be saying the same.
Yeah.
It's nuts. We must have had over like 108 creators, 110, I guess.
I've got no clue.
54 weeks in a year, isn't it? That's my mental maths there. But we've had so many, getting to know the people at the end of the day, looking through their content, and the mix we've had has been insane. I mean, 90% of mine have been women, but other than that, yeah, empowering.
Yeah, I think women in business and women in social media, we
more.
love like the community of women, and being able to promote other women creators is fantastic.
That's my favourite bit of the episode, to be honest, other than the trends.
Yeah, I know, I love the trends.
We love the trends.
Singing.
But
we just want to say thank you because we've done this video today in partnership with LouDProductionz, which we will add below in the description. And as always, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn at the Social Commuter Podcast. You can watch our podcast on any platform.
I think most platforms you can check out our podcast on, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously we've got the new year coming and loads of exciting things happening for our 2nd year of the Social Commuter Podcast, which feel old now saying that. It's insane. But
I can't believe it's been a whole year since we were in that little... Well, we were actually in a studio and then we changed. We
kept mixing up. We've been in at least like 3-4 locations now.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
What's
We're going to
your
try a 5th one. I love the studio.
Yeah, I was going to say the studio.
We went to Shrewsbury to do a collaboration with
Opus Media Productions.
And they were amazing. So if you're ever in Shrewsbury and Shropshire area and you need somewhere to film a podcast,
hit them up.
Honestly,
so good.
He's great. We still speak.
Well, we do.
We LinkedIn message,
We're
which
in
is
the
incredible. But what an amazing year. Try and comment below if there's an episode that stood out to you, because we've had some great guests, some great experiences, and it's just amazing to look back on.
Yeah, thank you to everybody who's been involved in our podcast this year. We've had an incredible time and we hope it continues.
I'm sure it will.
Year 2, baby.
Year 2. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week as always. Bye.